Up next, we have a very insightful presentation coming up for you. And for the same, I would like to request our speaker to kindly join us on the stage. We have Mr. Vishal Agarawal, CEO and CEO, CEO and co-founder of Locobuzz. Let's have a big round of applause for Mr. Vishal Agarawal. He is going to present his presentation on the future of CX, AI-driven, empathy-led, and insightly fueled. Can we have a big round of applause for him?
Hi, I hope you can hear me well. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for your time today. We're going to be talking about very interesting things around AI and how it applies in CX as we speak. So whatever I'm talking about is not which is about to come or will happen soon or later. It's all live out there, people benefiting from it. The whole idea behind our conversation today, if it stabilizes, is how do you really create in this world of AI an empathy-led, insights-fueled organization and take advantage of it. The way we think about AI in Locobuzz is slightly differently. We call it age of instinct. The whole idea behind AI, the way we think about it, is it's age of instinct. And when we say instinct, what we really mean is intelligence becomes so secondary to what you do, it feels like instinct. And the idea is to leverage AI to build social intelligence, which can help you build more meaningful relationships with your customers, ultimately a better reputation, and leading up to larger revenues. Next slide, please. It will be difficult to do. Interesting. So, when we look at social intelligence or the data which we collect on digital platforms, we are typically sort of, always talking about sentiment. Even before coming here, I was having a conversation with somebody where they're like focused on sentiment. The next thing you hear is NPS. Then you will, with the marketing folks, you will keep hearing about reach, impression, engagement, and that's where the conversation really ends, and nothing really moves beyond it. But what we are able to now uncover beyond these surface metrics, if you go next, sorry, it just kills the whole presentation, but we have done a very beautiful work around animation. Can you press next, please? So the idea behind advantages with AI is now you are able to go beyond these service metrics and you can go and really leverage deeper meanings. When I say deeper meaning, I don't mean typical, accuracy around sentiment, but going beyond that, understanding beyond sarcasm and trying to understand relationship between sentiments and intent of a user. So what aspect drove that sentiment and what was the opinion of the customer? And if you can break these down with these data points, you are able to really, go beyond this whole challenges of sarcasm, nuances, and go deeper into really understanding what the customer is trying to say or do. And it really unlocks a lot of value for you. We are able to identify purchase intent. We are able to identify themes, topics, all of it automatically across multiple languages seamlessly. So as you are developing businesses which go beyond, one or two languages, you are able to confidently rely on data without putting people at the problem to be able to really discover hidden truths about all of these data sources which you are collecting data from. I'll try one more time if it works. Nope. Next, please. Wow, they're really stuck at this. Well, uncovering this, basically how we do this is AI at the core of whatever we do. When I say AI at the core, what it really means is every signal which you are getting from any customer touch point goes through an extensive AI layer, which helps you uncover deeper meanings. What we are able to solve for is something which we call as voice of customer. Being able to uncover and truly understand the voice of customer can really give your business a lot of advantages, and that's what having AI at the core enables you to do. It enables you to understand nuances. It enables you to uncover more complex, deeper meanings in whatever is happening, and it also helps you to address these concerns. So one part of AI is, of course, for insights and intelligence. The other part of AI is for how do you use it to respond to customer queries and complaints. Can you automate things? Can you help your agent do more in less time? Can you help your agent do more with less experience? All of those things sort of are able to be done with, I think that my presentation is kind of really ruined thanks to these guys, but anyways, go next, please. The idea behind Locobuzz is threefold. We are looking at brand intelligence, where we are able to uncover these meanings and help you improve your marketing strategy, improve your content game, really. You are able to better measure your campaign performances. You are able to benchmark yourselves with your competitors. The other aspect is, of course, around being able to respond to customer queries, apply automation layers around it. Can you go next as well, please? Yeah. And then finally, as you're working, in multiple locations with multiple teams, you need to be able to leverage AI to be able to actually do more with less. And when I say do more with less, what I mean is being able to automate a lot of tasks. One of the most interesting case studies we have recently come out with is one of our customers, they did well in their last quarter, and they wanted to take the team out for an offsite. And they were facing this challenge where, they had a lot of customer queries, and customer support team, they wanted to be a part of it as well. We leveraged Locobuzz AI capabilities there, and we were able to literally solve for 95% of customer queries while the entire team was in an offsite. That's the power of AI, which is now. So just a distinction between instincts and insights. Insights are always sort of backward looking. So you have had an incident, you have data, you analyze the data, and you develop insights from this data. It's always sort of a pull. It's not really a push. Instinct, on the other hand, is dynamic and actionable. While insight is looking back at what happened, the way we look at instinct is preparing you for what may come next. And that's where really the power of AI comes into play. It really prepares you for what comes next. When we look at, how do you now really take advantage of these instincts or AI in your organization, right? So one of the most, these are the sort of framework for developing a more instinctive organization. The first thing is to leverage AI for every signal. Don't limit yourself to sentiments or NPS. Try to truly understand what is driving that sentiment, what is driving that NPS. And that's how you are really able to truly understand and build a better relationship with the customer. The second step is being able to understand the nuances around these conversations. So you need to be able to sort of break it down and not be trapped with unable to address a certain language or the way certain content is written. You need to be able to be multimodal, understand meaning across text or images. And finally, you need to be able to democratize access to all this intelligence within your organization. So if all this intelligence is sitting somewhere where nobody has access to it, they can't leverage it while they're planning their next marketing campaign, or while they're sort of looking at their product or service innovation to reduce customer churn or to reduce negative conversations, you will not be able to benefit. So what kind of a practice or a policy you're putting in place to democratically have this accessible to a larger set of people? And finally, you need to keep refining these signals over time, right? Whatever processes you will set, you will need to see what worked, what did not work, and keep evolving and changing over time. So let's now deep dive into what CXM looks with AI at the core, and we'll just break it down again into two very parallel tracks. One track being talking about insights, and the other track being automation. This is how we are now looking at analysis. One of the biggest challenges which we had when we look at any conversation understanding is how do you trigger alerts. One of a very interesting use case we had where a brand of a client of ours wanted to get an alert when there is a bomb threat. So normally what you would do is you will use the keyword bomb and stuff like that and try to trigger alerts. But even if that brand was mentioned where a threat is around its location, because it's a very iconic brand, the false alerts would get triggered. In any of the work which we do, right, we always try to use keywords or some kind of a collection of words to figure out what it means and then try to trigger any kind of process around it. Now with AI, it's possible to truly define what do you want. For example, if you want to have an alert if there is a safety threat, you just simply write, I want to be alerted against a safety threat. It doesn't matter if the safety threat comes in the form of a bomb or a gunman or whatever, the safety threat is handled by AI, and doesn't matter what language. So now, you can create these signals. The signals can be far more business outreaching, saying that if I have a bad check-in experience, I want an alert, because you would want the hotel GM to come and intervene and maybe address the problem before it sort of boils over. So signals help you define and be prepared with any kind of a customer intent which happens without really trying to solve it using keywords. So you are able to be more accurate and you are able to be more relevant. The other aspect which we have introduced is contextual pulse. What contextual pulse does is it gives you every time the pulse of the customer and at the bedrock of context. So what happens is if somebody writes, I love the on-time performance, but I hate the seat layout. Very valid feedback. But usually such feedbacks are lost because the systems or the technology in the past were not limited, were limited to be able to discern two meanings or to be able to label the data as such. Now you can do that. You don't need to put people at the problem. If you have a lot of data coming in, you have to manually look at it, tag the data, label it. All of that can be done automatically, accurately, and you are able to then understand not just aspects and opinions around a product or a service, but you're also able to identify which different products are being mentioned. What aspect of a certain product is appreciated, not appreciated. So you are able to truly transform your business processes with this intelligence. This is another very interesting product we have launched called CMOverse. This gives you a glimpse of the future of insighting. So normally when we talk about insights or reports, you sort of think about charts and dashboards, and you will have a dashboard you will go to, you will apply some filters, you will change the date range and try to look at all this data and then try to come up with a meaning. What we have now created using your own data, you can actually have an access to a ChatGPT-like interface where you can simply ask whatever you want to find out. For example, if you wanted to evaluate content marketing or content performance over the certain holiday period for 3 brands, you simply ask for that. If you say, what are the top 5 product themes against which I am getting negative conversations, you can simply ask that. You can even ask far deeper meanings as to what kind of a content theme are my users more connecting with. The AI will evaluate, divide all the content into various themes and tell you exactly what's happening, tell you where you have better engagement, you have weaker engagement, stuff like that. It will tell you why you are getting positive and negative reactions. You don't have to really analyze any data. You just need to think of problems to throw at it. So you can try it out as well, CMOverse.ai. On the agent side of things, right, ultimately, this is also a big area where, brands need to bring in efficiency to be able to address a lot more customer queries in less time and with far more relevance and personalization. And this is where sort of, AI can come into play and help in a big way. Here, what we have done is we've done 2 tracks. One is an autonomous track, very simple. Everything you see in that track is automated. So for your typical stuff, you would basically use the autonomous track and automate things. The other track is the co-pilot track. Here, you are trying to augment the human agent and help them do more. One very interesting observation is there's a lot of churn when it comes to customer service teams. They are usually the most hardworking, underpaid teams, and they are constantly battling one problem after the other. So they don't go from like problem solve, appreciation, celebrate, next problem. They just go from problem to problem to problem to problem. It's very important for the brand now to ensure and equip these agents to be able to maintain the brand messaging in a very consistent manner. Now, suppose after the 3rd call, somebody may not be feeling very good or positive, right? The way they handle the conversation could go differently. And a lot of times the brands come and say that it was a bot, and that's a very lame excuse, but that's what happens when you don't have guardrails in place. Here, what we have done on the agent track, we've introduced multiple features here, where the whole idea is we approach it in simple 3 ways. One is response genie. Response genie, as the name suggests, think of it as small genie which will come up and tell you what the response should be. How it does it? You upload your knowledge base, it looks at your past responses, and it will automatically come up with a response based on the user question. So now you are assured that the response is within the boundaries or the guidelines of the brand, you are assured that it is as per what you have been doing. Agent IQ here is a remarkable engineering achievement. One of the biggest challenges in customer service is, I'm sure you all would have heard this, right? Your call will be recorded for training and blah, blah purposes. And you wonder what training did they get because you keep repeating your problem in the same manner. Same thing happens when you have email responses or social media responses or App Store, Play Store responses. You suddenly will wake up one day when somebody says, "Arey, did you see that response? It was so irrelevant." And then somebody will wake up, and then QA process usually entails what? Somebody will wake up after 7 days, I look at randomly some of the responses and say, yeah, the responses are good or bad. But if you are looking at it after the response is done, the damage is done already, right? So what does Agent IQ do? Every time a response is being sent out by any agent, Agent IQ is observing what the response is. If it feels it's going to mess up the CSAT, it's going to flag it. So it takes care of all your problems around being rude, using a bad language, whatever. Next comes unmet queries. If AI is looking at the question which the customer has asked, and if those questions are not being answered properly, if there's unmet query, it will flag. So the response will not go. So what it solves for is, a lot of times, a complaint comes and an agent closes the ticket without doing anything. And after 1 week, when the matter escalates, you come to know and blah, 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 but there's no solution for it till now. So it solves for that. So you cannot have a situation where somebody by mistake has overlooked or closed the ticket. The third thing it does is it looks at the quality of response. Sometimes, for example, if you come back and say, as an organization, we are an FTR organization or an FLR organization. Sorry for the jargon, FLR means first level of response, FTR means time to resolution, first time to resolution. So the whole idea is a lot of people play this game in CX world where they say that the moment a customer came, within 5 minutes I gave an FLR. But it was like a useless acknowledgement, and after that you take 3 days to close the ticket. So FTR is where the game is, when you're able to close the customer, or resolve the customer query, first time resolution, right? It actually can follow those guidelines also. So if your response is weak, as if, let me get back to you tomorrow, I am unsure, I will look at it day after, it will flag those responses also. So you don't have to now worry about somebody damaging the brand reputation and then you trying to come up with innovative ways to deflect that. Flow Builder is a simple AI flow builder where you can put things together and create a flow you want. So for example, you can say that if Signal Sense finds that there is a bad check-in experience, I would like automatically a response to go, which is as per the brand guidelines. The whole process is automated. There are no canned responses. There are no bank of responses you use and you randomize and send something. It is extremely intelligent AI responding on behalf of your organization based on your guidelines. So basically, this just talks about how you can have different flows designed and how when can a human agent as a co-pilot with a co-pilot come in and when you can fully automate things. So finally, to wrap it up, I just wanted to sort of show you when you talk about empowering agents, it's so beneficial for the organization because if you can have a team do more with less number of agents, you are able to create value. If you are able to personalize your responses to your customers, you are able to create value. If you can, solve somebody's problem in a shorter time, you are able to create value. You are able to reduce churn. You are able to upsell, cross-sell. And all these technologies, basically the intent really is that you want to make an agent far more reliable, the whole customer service far more consistent, and of course, ready for scale. So thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. We are out there at the booth. If you have any questions, happy to address them. Thank you.
Check. Thank you so much, sir. May I request you to kindly stay with us up on the stage? Kindly stay with us, sir. Thank you, Mr. Vishal Agarawal, for sharing such valuable insights with us. And that was truly very engaging, and it gave us a lot to think about. So to felicitate you, may I request Mr. Anish Ahuja, Vice President Service from Whirlpool Corporation, to kindly join us on the stage, and please felicitate Mr. Vishal Agarawal. Big round of applause, everyone. I'm sure many of us will carry these insights that has been shared by Mr. Vishal in our day-to-day lives. Thank you once again.